I hope everybody doing great. Today I'm coming with another video, and I'm not gonna waste no more time. Spirits of love, positivity, and enlightenment, I ask that you come into me and use my vessel to provide the appropriate message and to provide the most significant symbolism intended for my viewers and those who are meant to receive the message. Thank you. The main topic of what I wanted to talk to y'all about was why angels need to be weaponized physically, mentally, and spiritually. And I did this video yesterday, but somehow it got deleted, so I'm going to begin today. And I guess we're going to go into a deeper discussion. So I can see right now that the reason why most of the angels are showing gratitude in most of the sculptures that we depict them as, showing grace, showing a sense of peace. And of course, the reason why is because angels are of the positive force, are representations of a positive spirit, a protective spirit, a spirit that is for your benefit, for your highest benefit. And the reasons of why they are supposed to be weaponized is because, of course, we have spirits that are quite opposite of positivity. And I'm gonna go into physically, most angels that are for protection, they tend to have weapons. And I would say, like, my greatest example would be the Archangel Michael. And he is usually depicted with a sword. And the reason why is because most demonic forces or negative spirits or negative energies that inhabit a form usually have some type of attributes that would assist them in actually providing the type of harm that they are aiming for in order for their own gratification. Well, the angels that we tend to admire, or not necessarily admire, but the angels that we tend to what's the greatest word I'm looking for? Is more so adhere. The angels that we tend to adhere to are weaponized with also weapons that would assist them into providing protection or into providing the defense necessary. And the best defense is offense. So, like, I've seen, in my personal examples, I've seen uh, sculptures or makings, like pictures of angels using their weapons to slay, or using a sword to put down a negative spirit or a demonic force. A lot of the actual examples that we see, like in movies, like even Star Wars, they tend to use a weapon, which would be like a lightsaber, you know. So that's just an example, and it's just because everything is a balance. What one has, the other must have, you know. And even down to humans and their physical form, we have spirits that are for protection, and who aim to provide security for those that are loved and their loved ones. You know, it's all out of love. You want to protect the ones that you love, the ones who are offering protection. Those are the ones that we would kind of assume or put in a position that they're for our benefit, versus the ones who seek to harm. So just like, you know what I'm saying, the ones who seek to harm, they wouldn't really stop at any levels to do so. They would use any type of weapon to do so. The ones who seek to protect, it's necessary for them to have a weapon as well, just so they can even out the playing field. So that's one. When it comes to being weaponized mentally, it's more so mentally. Angels, they know what they're up against. They know that in order to restore or continue to keep the balance and keep order, they know they must watch out for any type of trickery or any type of deceit. And it's not necessarily watch out, because they are also in the realm of the all-knowing. So the fact that they know, and also not only are they in the realm of all-knowing, so are the negative spirits, or what we would like to say, like, not we, but what people would like to call evil spirits. They're also in the all-knowing as well. So mentally, they are sharp on both ends, the angels and the negative spirits, the negativity entities. You know what I'm saying? They both are in the same type of realm. So they would be mentally sharp. Like, everything, when it comes to knowledge, everything comes from that realm. You know what I mean? When we get enlightened, that's when we tap into the source of the universe. So that's one thing. Like, in order for you to not fall short of anything that you're supposed to do, or not fall into anybody's trap, it takes for you to be mentally sharp, and for you to be able to calculate and see the patterns, or see the the uh, the clues that something would not be right. Not necessarily just see, but also intuition. Intuition is knowing internally. And when you know, you can trust something when you actually know it. that's when it's actually trustworthy. Trust, one of the root words of trust is true. So it's just when something is true, it's more of a fact. So it's facts come from knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so that's one thing with that. And I'm gonna say spiritually, because each spirit is given free will. And when I say that they're given free will, we're able to do what it is that we necessarily want to do. But the angels, they willingly want to do what is right. And when I say angels, I'm not necessarily being technical, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would like to break down the words and try to point out things that I'm saying, and would look for, just basically look for something to be against it of what I'm saying. But when I say angels, I just mean spirits of positivity. So that's one thing. And another is actually just spiritually, they have to be sharp as well. And the reason why I say spiritually they have to be sharp is because when it comes to the angels and the negativity, the negative spirits, the negative deities, spiritually, they exist on the realm that is with everything. Spiritually, they choose to feel, because a lot of things are choices. They choose to feel their way through things. And when I say their way through things, you only know what's right in your heart. No, it does not have to be physically having a heart to possess a heart, but for a spirit to even feel love that doesn't possess a body, or for a spirit to be of love that does not possess a body, we associate the heart with love. So why is that? Because the heart is what really is like the actual meter for love. The heart, when it comes to love, we only feel love in the heart. We don't feel it in the mind or in the leg or in the arm or nothing like that. We feel it in the heart. That's where you genuinely feel love from. So when it comes to having a heart, that's where the spirits would come in spiritually, because they do what they feel is right as far as internally. That is the center of your internal self. They're centered with knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing what is best for them, knowing what is like, and it's more so when you know what's best for you, you may know what's best for others. You may know, but majority of the time, you are possibly right. There's most of the time that you're right. You know, when you know what's best for yourself, you may know what's also best for others. And the reasons are because when you love yourself, you can provide love for others, because you have so much love to give you've already overflown your cup with love, with good emotions. If it's overflown, then that means there's love running over. There's love pouring out so much that you just can't contain it for yourself, that it has to be felt somewhere else. So it's just more so spiritually, the angels would have to be spiritually weaponized, because we have to continue to be who we are made to be, regardless to what experiences we may go through. Like, angel spirits are not supposed to, but angel spirits are actually of the positive force. So spiritually, they are to provide positivity, because the positivity that they emit is very intense. It's very intense. And so if they was to choose to be otherwise, like the demonic spirits or the negativity spirits, I keep calling them negativity, but I guess that's what spirit want me to call them, the negativity spirits. Then if they chose to be on the opposite end, they would not necessarily be providing any more love than for themselves, any more love than what they feel would be necessary. And positivity is abundant. Nature is abundant. Nature is nurture. To nurture, to care for something is abundant. So the universe is abundant. We have multiple galaxies, multiple dimensions. There's an abundance of mostly everything. So that's what I mean by that. You have to be weaponized. You have to be able to be on guard. You have to be able to take offense on the defense. You have to be able to mentally see what is going on and able to tackle that to your greatest ability. So that's that. Now I'm going to go into interpreting these images that I just drew. Spirit told me that this image is supposed to be a shovel mixed with, like, going into the dirt, I guess, going into the ground. Why a shovel? Mainly because I guess when it comes to things being dug up, when you dig something up, you uncovering something. When you dig into something, you going deeper into something. A lot of things are deeper than they seem. A lot of things is just not what we think that it is. Like, it's always a deeper meaning to it. The only way you can get deeper into something, especially something that is already grounded, that seems that it already has a foundation, the only way you can go deeper into something is to take a shovel. Not necessarily a shovel, but to drill into something, like to actually plunge into it. And you would need some type of force in order to do so. So it's just taking a deeper look into something. You know what I mean? With a shovel, you dig deeper into things. So that's what that is, going deeper into something. So that's what that would be in my interpretation. This spirit is telling me that this is like a cross between, I guess, an eggplant and a pear. And a pear would be the pear to me, for me to get that interpretation of that word, interpretation to that word, like a pear. You know what I mean? Pear, the balance. That's what, positivity and negativity. That's the balance that creates a balance. When it comes to the eggplant, I don't really know too much personally about the eggplants like that. However, when you're talking about an eggplant? Why is it that it's a vegetable, but they call it an eggplant? And I'm gonna just break down like the words of it, because like I said, I don't know too much personally about the eggplant, but eggs are laid, and eggs also hatch. When you plant, you're grounding them. When you plant, you're putting in something. When you actually plant, you're placing roots. You're placing seeds, or you placing something to begin roots for it to grow. So when something is laid down, it is now most eggs. When it comes to eggs have hatchlings. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's life that forms out of that egg. So to plant is to basically like plant life. This fruit or this vegetable would provide something that is life sustaining, or helping life give. You know what I mean? Like, not helping life give, but helping give life, give more life, give more nutrients, nurturing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, more care, more love. So that's really where that will come in when it comes to that. I think, yeah, Spirit saying that's a good enough explanation for that. And this, I'm not necessarily the greatest artist when it comes to detail, but Spirit is telling me that this is supposed to represent a steering wheel. Now, when it comes to the steering wheel, the steering wheel, of course, is fully rounded, and it's for direction. The direction in one's life, being that it's fully rounded and it goes both ways when you're driving. For a steering wheel, you would be driving something, driving a force, driving a ship, driving anything. A steering wheel, you can choose to go left, you can choose to go right. However, most steering wheels, they come straight. Now, when things are not necessarily in the way that they could be or should be, I've seen examples of cars needing alignment. So the steering wheel would have to be placed a certain way. If it needs an alignment, it's not straight. So when it comes to the steering wheel, we steer our life. But you know, one thing about cars, it's like cars don't go straight. If you were to not control the steering wheel, it would automatically go left. The car would actually automatically drive left. The steering wheel is to help you, one, keep the car driving accordingly the way it's supposed to go. And you would also need to steer it right for the most part. You would have to keep it steering right in order for it to have a straight and narrow path. So the steering wheel represents the forces that of direction, the forces that someone could end up being in, that you would have to assist in actually providing direction. You would have to assist in providing direction for this whatever you actually possessing, like whatever you are driving, whatever force, in order for it to have a path that is according to wherever your destination is going. The steering wheel, you have to either steer left or steer right, but it's not going to steer itself. Now, we have technology now that allows us to do so, but it's not necessarily going to steer itself. So well, traditionally it won't steer itself. So those are really all my interpretations for this day, for this lesson. Well, not necessarily lesson, but for what I want to come to y'all and talk to y'all about. Like I said, I tried to do this video yesterday, and it didn't get saved. So this is my second time doing this topic, and I also will put my interpretations on this video as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on this next interpretation of the same topic, because obviously now the shovel also represents going in depth a little further than normal. You know what I'm saying? A little further. So may y'all have a great day. I love y'all. Stay safe. Provide positivity and peace. 100. And far as angels, they meant to see the traps. Like they're not meant to, but they can. I'm gonna put it like that. They can see the traps, and they can decipher much easier, just because they use their ability to see through things in the heart. They use all their capabilities. I put it like that, because they are also in the realm of everything. So that's that. I believe that this represents a well. That's what Spirit is telling me. Spirit is telling me that this is supposed to be a well, pumping water. Water has memory. Water has intelligence. Water has everything that we majorly consist of. Water also provides life. Water is nourishment. So with a well, it's more so a water pump. To pump more water is to gain more clarity, gain more life, gain more wisdom, gain more memory, to access, to also be with the majority, and the majority is the universe. Nothing is more than the universe. So, like when I say clarity, they always comparing diamonds or jewelry stones to water, and what is better, what is a better metaphor for water for jewelry like stones and diamonds than water, because water is clear. It has reflections, like you can see through water. So, and water actually exists not just in not just in the dense form that we can actually like touch and feel, but it also exists in the air as well. That's how you see clouds get filled up with water. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing with the water pump. It's just more so you gaining more, but you taking it from a source. That's what that is. You tapping in the source. You tapping in the source. You know what I mean? Tap water. But it's not necessarily well water. Well water and tap water is much different. But you tapping in the water. I feel like that's where we even get the term tap water from. So when it comes to the sword, I'm gonna move on. We just talked about being angels being weaponized. The sword where represents being able to slice through, being decisive, being able to cut through anything that is unclear, being able to provide official defense, because a sword you can block out certain things that may come against. With the sword you can do so, and also with the sword you can also cut away. They always say that the word is like a sword, like when it comes to tongue. Like I'm not into the Bible and stuff like that, but I've also read about it, and I'm knowledgeable about the Bible too, but that I'm not religious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting you know. But I'm able to take the things that I've learned from the Bible and actually interpret it with wisdom. I'm not saying that I'm wise, but I will be. I'm granted wisdom, you know. So I put it like that. So you know what I mean. Uh, the sword is just it's a very powerful tool. The sword is also a sacred tool. So you know, to actually mold a metal into something that is used for multi purposes, you know, that is mainly what the tool is. I mean, that is mainly what the sword is. It's still a tool. However, it is the most effective tool when it comes to offering security, protection, uh, in offense, on defense. You know, um, a sword would never run out of ammo or anything like that. So that's where that comes from. Like a sword is always going to be a sturdy weapon. You know what I mean? And it's ancient. It is an ancient tool. So you know that's really where that come from. Ancient tool. Everything we that I'm talking about of, you know what I'm saying, is ancient. This is not just currently. This goes back way back. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to spiritually, mentally, and physically, all of this is ancient. Like we 2,000 years from even being able to count. But I'm pretty sure that there's been times that we've been existing with the same things, but we have not kept up with the date or the time, because we've been much more inclined with the all to know, uh, beyond just actually writing things down or keeping documents of stuff. So that's that. I didn't want to make this too long. I hope y'all having a great day. I hope y'all are receiving this with much clarity and much understanding and much understanding and overstanding. And I'll see y'all next time. I love y'all. Be safe. 100.